There's a certain time of day and a certain time of year when the sun sets and the weather cools, where the leaves change and the winds chill. Light retreats, darkness advances, and imagination takes over. It all occurs during that brief period of time known as the Twilight-Tober Zone. Perspective is paramount. Remembering the experiences that formed your point of view can make all the difference when life pegs you as an insignificant peon, or you find yourself on top of the world. Of course, don't lose your noggin in the clouds. An aeroplane of reality might crash right into that oversized cranium and send you hurtling back toward the earth. Whether you finish first or last, consider this a reminder to never lose your head, or you might find yourself on the wrong side of your own personal Twilight-Tober Zone. We've come to the end of Twilight-Tober Zone 2022. In year one, we finished on The Chaser. Last year, we finished on the excellent episode Shadow Play. And this year, we end on The Little People. I'd say we're 1 for 3 with these finales so far. Navigator Peter Craig and Commander William Fletcher are Earth astronauts stranded on a barren foreign planet. Fletcher is determined to fix his ship and return home, but he has trouble with Craig, who has a clear problem with authority. After thinking he hears voices in the distance, Craig soon takes extended walks away from the ship area. When pressed about this, the navigator reveals he's discovered a settlement of people nearby. The only thing is, they're basically microscopic. Craig has named himself their deity and repeatedly crushes parts of their little world to demand respect and praise. Fletcher tries to stop him, but becomes preoccupied with fixing the ship to escape their current predicament. When he finally gets the spacecraft up and running, the commander goes to confront his navigator and finds the situation with the little people has become much worse. The Little People walks the line of goofy and trying to have a strong moral. Other installments do this flawlessly, especially ones written by Rod Serling, as this one here is. I'm not going to say it's awful, and I could see plenty of people having a great time with this story, but it's not really among my favorites. It was director William Claxton's weakest of the 3 zones he had done at this point. However, I don't think that's really his fault. I'm not sure how they could have improved this script all that much. They used aerial footage to give a sense of scale to the tiny alien population's living area. Superimposing a hand or foot over the footage didn't do all that much to help the visual, but it probably sounded like a good idea at the time. Maybe having a view of the humans from the small alien's perspective would have helped to establish the scope of everything. Heck, even using moving miniatures would have lent a cheesy but charming aspect to this portion of the episode. The 2 main actors here are kind of a mixed bag. I really like Claude Akins, and his role in the very well-known classic The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street basically made him a Twilight Zone legend. His strong sense of morality carries over to the Little People, and there's not one moment where you don't buy him being a good guy.
Craig, they're people. They're flesh and blood. In that respect, they're no different than us. Stop it! Stop it! Created. I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry. Please forgive us. Forgive us, please.
What a fella. In contrast, Joe Morose has absolutely no redeeming qualities as the evil villain of this story. He's an unpleasant, unstable coward when dealing with other humans and always wanted to have some kind of power. When he gets a taste of it on this planet, he instantly turns maniacal.
Graduated Fletcher from a slob with a slide rule to a god. They've been created in my image.
Morose was previously in a phenomenal episode from Season 1 called Third from the Sun. Go check that one out to see him in a better story. He does show some range as the bad guy here, but I feel like a more over-the-top actor would have been much more fun to watch in the role. Following the discovery of a statue in the likeness of Craig, Fletcher has a gun pulled on him by the self-proclaimed god. He says he's staying on the planet to rule the small alien race, and forces the commander to leave by himself. A few more threats to the population ensue until another spaceship lands on the planet. Two giant human-looking creatures find Craig and pick him up to take a closer look. In doing so, they accidentally crush his body and kill him. As they walk off, the remnants of Craig's statue are pulled down on top of him as a measure of cosmic justice. Ends the little people's nightmare. I will say I liked the statue and how it was used. They had to have made that thing with some heavy material, since you can see Craig pick up the head and it has some weight to it. The giant humanoid aliens that show up were inserted into a shot that was captured during the Season 1 episode, I Shot an Arrow into the Air. It doesn't look great, but you're talking to a guy who loves Power Rangers and Godzilla, so my standards for giant characters are probably a little specific.
This is a monotheistic society here. Just room for one god.
If the more wacky TZ episodes that take themselves kind of seriously are your thing, you'll get plenty out of this. I wouldn't put it into my own recommended list, though. In my opinion, there are many better stories to spend your time watching. And that's a wrap on Year 3. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. As always, big shout out to Mark Scott Zickry's The Twilight Zone companion book for guiding us through the extra details concerning what went into creating these shows. Make sure to follow me on social media and subscribe to my personal YouTube channel for more content in the future. You can also stay tuned right here on Channel Awesome for more fanscription and the completion of Batmay next year. It's time to get out of the Twilight Zone for another trip around the sun. Let's all recharge and come back next October for more weird, inspiring, and thought-provoking tales. Until then, I've got my eye on you.